Namaste, I'm Carla. Welcome to your practice. Today we're going to learn the Deerga breath, also known as the complete breath or the three-part breath. This is a very important fundamental pranayama technique. Pranayama is the fourth limb of yoga and the eight-limbed yoga system, which really translates to control of the breath, pranayama. The Deerga breath is extremely effective at increasing energy and boosting your mood and making you feel really fantastic, and also helps counter some of the effects of our day-to-day posture, the slouching, and perhaps any poor breathing habits that we might have acquired. The breath is a relatively simple breath, and we basically breathe into each lobe of the lung, the lower, the middle, and the upper, in sequence, and then exhale in the same way. So I'm going to teach you to do this on your back because I think that it's easiest to first access on your back, and then we'll do a couple of rounds seated as well. So bringing yourself onto your mat, lying down, making sure that you have no obstructions at the back of the head, and just have your knees bent, allowing the back to just release into the floor. Close your eyes for a moment and just allow yourself to connect in with your natural, easy breath in and out. As you breathe here, perhaps take a moment to notice what part of the body is rising and falling with the breath. And remember, it's simply an observation. You don't need to change anything just yet. And as always, we're both the subject and the scientist of our own experience. And so after a couple of easy breaths here, we're going to start to bring our awareness into the thoracic cavity, the chest, where we want to isolate the breath. So in order to do this, it's actually important that we keep the belly relatively still. So the way that we're going to do this is to draw the navel in gently towards the spine. So I like to imagine that there's a thread attached to the back of the navel, connected to the spine, and that thread gently pulls in the navel. Now it's a very gentle pull, you're not sucking your belly in, but you want to keep that gentle pull and you'll feel a slight firmness in your lower belly. And as we breathe now into the chest, you'll find that the belly stays relatively still, and this is what we want. So maintaining this connection, the navel gently in towards the base of the spine, continue to take a few breaths here, noticing how the breath moves more fully into the chest now. Excellent, and so now we're going to bring into our awareness the Deerga breath, the three-part breath. So as I said, we're going to divide the lungs into the lower, the middle, and the upper lobes. As we breathe, on the inhalation, we're going to breathe into the lower, then the middle, then the upper. We'll pause for a moment, and we're going to exhale in the same direction. We're going to exhale from the lower, the middle, and then the upper. So let's do this together. Let's allow the hands to just rest by our sides, palms up or palms down. Start by taking a full breath in. As you exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine again if you've lost that connection. And inhaling now into the lower lungs, the middle lungs, the upper lungs. Pause. And now exhale, lower, middle, and upper. Pause. Again, breathe in, lower, middle, upper, pause. Exhale, lower, middle, upper, pause. Again, breathe in, lower, middle, upper, pause. Exhale, lower, middle, and upper, pause. Good. Continue a couple more times at your own pace. Be sure to keep your navel moving gently in towards the spine. And if you find the breath difficult in any way to access any of these parts of the lungs, remember that where the mind goes, prana follows. So simply in your mind, envision the lower, middle, and upper lobes of the lungs as you breathe in and out. Good. After this round, relaxing your breath. And then just roll over to your right side. Pause for a moment. And then slowly press yourself up. Wonderful. So once you feel comfortable doing the Deerga breath lying on your back, then you can begin to do this breath seated. So any comfortable seated position will do, and be sure to elevate your sitting bones if you need that to help drop the knees or allow your posture to be more aligned. So we'll do a couple more rounds here of our Deerga breath seated. And you certainly can also add your hands into the breath work to feel the expansion in the lungs. And again, like I said, where the mind goes, prana follows. So where your intention goes, the prana, that life force energy, is going to move right into those parts of the body. Okay, so let's do a couple more rounds here. So finding your nice, comfortable, tall seat, letting the crown of the head extend up. Close your eyes, relax the shoulders. And let's just start with a breath in. As you exhale, drawing the navel in towards the spine. And we'll begin inhaling into the lower, the middle, and the upper lungs. Pause. Exhale, lower, middle, and upper, and pause. Inhale, lower, middle, upper, pause. Exhale, lower, middle, upper, pause. Again, inhale, lower lungs, middle, upper, all the way to the collarbones. Exhale, lower, middle, upper. Pause for a moment and continue another 2 or 3 rounds at your own pace. Make this your last round. Relaxing the belly, take a few easy breaths in and out to finish. So just take a moment now, before opening your eyes, to just take a quick inventory of how you feel. Checking with the mind, the body, the breath, just observing your now present experience. As you feel ready, the eyes will gently open with a very soft gaze. Lovely. One of the great things about the Deerga breath is you really can do it anywhere, because the breath is silent. You can do it sitting at your office desk, you can do it on the bus, wherever you feel that you need to bring in a little bit more awareness and prana, that vital life force energy, into the body. In fact, studies have shown that this complete breath, the Deerga breath, brings in 7 times as much air as typical upper chest breathing, which is often what we do most of the day. So that means 7 times more oxygen and prana into the body, which sounds pretty good to me. So I hope that you use the Deerga breath and really allow it to become a part of not only your practice on the mat, but a part of your practice throughout your day. Thank you very much for joining me. Have an amazing day. Namaste.